Hello, welcome to Arsenal Theory. Going to go through some thoughts on tomorrow's big game, Liverpool versus Arsenal, 4:30. We haven't had a game this big for a long time, and all week, I'll be honest, I've been pumping it. We've been getting lashed at Anfield for several years now, threes, fours, fives. We've never really gone there with any real hope of getting anything done. Um, Last season, we kept them at bay for about 40 minutes until Arteta and Klopp had a bit of a tiff on the touchline. That G'd the crowd up and got Liverpool all kind of extra motivated, and they went on to slap us, I think 4-0, something like that. Um, so, earlier this week, I was very nervous, but strangely, the closer we get to the game, the more confident I'm getting. And I think it's because you have to take the emotion out of the situation, which I'm not very good at doing with football, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm starting this channel, is because I need to kind of get it out and think more logically. In fact, I nearly called this channel Arsenal Therapy because it feels like I need therapy sometimes after what this team puts me through. But anyway, when we break it down, there is real no reason for Liverpool to be confident apart from the fact that it's at Anfield and they got their crowd behind them. So essentially, they're kind of in a Vibes FC sort of situation here where they're hoping they can get their confidence back, get the crowd roaring, get some big tackles in earlier on, probably try and disrupt us from our game. I think if Arsenal can keep their cool and just stick to the game plan and not be taken in by the situation, then we should be okay, because man for man, there are not many of those Liverpool players that would get into our team. There's a few potential banana skin issues though. We've got Saliba, who's been incredible since he's come back from loan. But he's been out with a dodgy back for the last 2-3 weeks. Even if he is past fit, he hasn't played or trained really for that period of time, so I don't know how rusty he would be. The replacement, Rob Holding, it's very worrying because he's quite slow, and so I'm sure Liverpool would just target him. But even if Saliba is playing, he hasn't played for so long, and he's young, so you don't know how he's going to react to being thrown into that kind of high pressure situation. You know, he's not really well oiled at the moment, so that's a potential problem for Arsenal. A better problem to have is what we've got up front, which is, you know, who do we pick? We've got four top players, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus and Trossard, and none of them deserve to be dropped. But unfortunately, we can't really play all four. And I don't know who you go for in this situation. I'm quite glad I'm not the manager, really, because whoever he leaves out, if we don't get the win, it's going to be pointed probably at, oh, well, you dropped Trossard for Martinelli and, you know, it didn't go well, you should have started Trossard. But that's why they get paid the big bucks, I suppose, really. So the game, though, is going to be won and lost over the 90 minutes plus injury time. So whoever is dropped, is maybe not such a case of them being dropped, but just put into to come as a reinforcement later on. They could still affect the game. But there is really not much of a case to drop any of them. I mean, Trossard, I think, scored a hat-trick at Anfield earlier this season when he was playing for Brighton. So it's hard to leave him out. Martinelli has had Trent on toast the last couple of times they've played. So it's hard to leave him out. Saka's been in incredible form, and Jesus has scored lots of goals against Liverpool for Man City and has that winning mentality for these kind of occasions. This is why we brought in people such as Zinchenko and Jesus for these kinds of games. So it would kind of be mad to drop Jesus for this game because this is why we bought him. However, he has been injured. He's only played maybe 80 minutes since he's been back, and like he played 60 minutes last week and then he had to come off. So I don't know. Like, it's a real difficult one. I really don't know who he's going to go for up front. But I think the rest of the team more or less picks itself. It'll be Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba if he's fit. If not, it'll be Holding. And then you have Big Gabby and Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka in the midfield. And then, yeah, three of those four up front, really. For Liverpool, Klopp can really not afford to get slapped at Anfield by Arsenal, and I don't think we will. I don't think we will do that. I actually think we might win, but I don't think it's going to be a big scoring, like doing like 3 or 4 or anything like that at all. I don't think that's gonna happen. Um, but he's getting under a lot of pressure now. People aren't necessarily questioning Klopp, but they're questioning, should we be questioning him, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the bit before then. And as Arsenal fans, we've been through this with Wenger before, when you have such a kind of gigantic presence of a manager. And then it starts kind of going wrong. And you go, well, is it the manager? Is it the owners? Is it the players? Typically, it's kind of all three of those things that affect what's happening on the pitch. I'm going to do another video at some point kind of covering Liverpool, because I feel like I've seen what they're going through right now, and I think they're going to make some of the mistakes that Arsenal made, and they don't really need to do that, but I'm pretty certain they're going to make those mistakes from what I've seen anyway. But that's a different video for another time. For Klopp, does he go with Trent? I suspect that he will. I personally don't actually think Trent's been as bad as everyone's making out, because he's not getting the kind of protection that he used to get, and he's getting more exposed by the rest of the team. I feel he's still a top player, and I think if you put Trent into, let's say, the City team, for example, or the Arsenal team, I think he'd thrive. I think he'd be incredible. I think he'd be the player that you saw kind of the last 3 or 4 years, really. So I think he's been treated quite harshly, and what has that Liverpool team done to help protect him as a defender? So we'll see if they have a plan for anything tomorrow on that. Up front, if I was Klopp, I'd be trying to get Nunes, and Salah's obviously has to start, but I would definitely be trying to get Nunes in there. He caused us so many problems in that first game at the Emirates earlier this season. He's so quick. He's quite physical as well. He's very big and strong and tall. And I think, especially if Saliba's not playing, if Rob Holding's playing and they stick Nunes on him, Arsenal are going to be in all sorts of problems. In fact, in that kind of situation, the game could just turn into a shootout, effectively, like an end-to-end shootout. I don't think it's going to go that way, but I wouldn't be surprised, I suppose, if it did. Klopp's rested as well. He's kind of like, he didn't quite throw the Chelsea game, but he almost threw that Chelsea game earlier this week. They should have lost that by 2 or 3 goals. And he just rested everyone, I'm presuming, because of the Arsenal game, because he doesn't want to get beat at Anfield and wants to give himself the best chance of winning, of winning that. We can't afford a point. I've heard some people saying online, a draw, I'd take a draw now, a draw would be a great result. I disagree. We draw. City are going to beat Southampton later on. I may or may not watch that, I don't know. But if they do, that's down to, what's that? The lead will be down to 5 points, but we'll have a game in hand. Okay, essentially, after everything's evened out, we'll have a 3-point lead if we draw tomorrow and City keep winning. And we still have to play City at the Etihad. And I'm not confident of us getting anything there at all. And their goal difference is going to be a lot better as well. So we have to remove ourselves from the situation of the whole Anfield thing. We have to remove ourselves from the fact that Liverpool have a hoodoo over us and have continuously slapped us at Anfield. And just think of it as, well, look, this is a mid-table team we're playing. And we've been slapping mid-table teams all season. 2s, 3s, 4s. It shouldn't really be an issue. And I'm really, really hoping that's what happens, and that I'm not doing another video, Sunday evening or Monday with my tail between my legs. I do think we'll get it done. I'm going to be a nervous wreck during the whole game. I'm terrible at watching matches, but there's so much on the line here. It's been like years since we've ever been in a genuine kind of title contention situation. And we had the Leicester season where we were kind of in it for a bit, but you could never really trust that team. And plus, you had Wenger managing it, and I didn't really trust Wenger at all. You know, I wanted him gone years ago. But before that, anyway, that's enough for this first video. Liverpool Arsenal, 4:30 tomorrow. Can't wait. Come on, the Gunners. See you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.